Hey gang, Mark Sweeney here from beautiful Austin, Texas, Austin Dental Spa. This is the place. Austin has gotten back into the spring fever with 80-degree weather instead of the 20-degree weather we had 2 weeks ago. So everything's all right in Texas. And guess what month it is? You're right, February. So we've got a new theme going. But if you are one of those people who likes to sleep in on the weekend, boy, have I got a good study for you that backs up with some punch next time somebody gives you a hard time about sleeping in on the weekend. So we'll get to that in a second. First, as you know, if you've tuned in before, we always have a new theme every month, and this is the first Wisdom Wednesday of February. So we're introducing Heartfelt February. That's what we got going on. You know why, because 2 weeks from now is the biggest heartfelt day of the year, Valentine's Day, and so we're gearing up for that. And we've got a study, and we're going to try every week to have studies that have something to do with heartfelt. And today is a perfect example of that, because now this study, we actually have used it at least twice on Wisdom Wednesdays, or referred to it, because it was this huge study that was done years ago in the United Kingdom, and they built this data bank, and I'll get to the exact numbers in a second, but then they put it out there for anybody, any other researchers, to be able to use this huge data bank where they tracked a lot of people over a very long period of time, what their hearts did, how much they ate, all kinds of stuff that they tracked. It was quite an interesting study. So this report actually comes out of Beijing, China, and it was just last September that it was presented at a scientific meeting in Europe. But the gist of the article is that sleeping in on the weekends can lead to up to a 19 to 20% reduction in heart disease. So that ought to get your attention. So let's talk about the study specifically. It was actually 90,000 people, 90,903 participants in the UK Biobank study that they studied for 14 years on average. Some people died during the study, some new people came on apparently. They all lived in the United Kingdom, and they were all between the ages of 40 and 69. So if you've tuned in regularly, you remember me bringing up this study about 3 months ago, but it was a different group of researchers studying a different thing, and that was actually based out of the United Kingdom. But this study was some Chinese researchers using that same database, but they were looking at particularly at sleep quantity, where the other study was looking at something else completely different. And now the participants, when they were working out, eating, sleeping during the day, they wore a wrist monitor that measured what they were doing, what their blood levels were, what their cardiac output was, all this. But the Chinese researchers they put people into 4 different categories. People who just didn't get enough sleep, less than 7 hours during the week, and even less than that on the weekends. They didn't sort it out by age, which would have been even more interesting, because you would like to think that, hey, the younger people, the people in their 20s and 30s, are the ones that aren't getting as much sleep on the weekends as they get during the week when they can sleep at work or whatever. I'm extrapolating my own prejudices in there. But group 1, just to get group 1 and group 4, or the extremes, group 1 got between 0.26 to 16 fewer hours of sleep on the weekends. So they actually slept less on the weekends than they slept during the week. Group 4, at the other end of the spectrum, they got anywhere from 1.28, almost 1.5, to 16 more hours of sleep on the weekend. So those are some couch potatoes there. These are people that didn't set an alarm on the weekends. I try to do that at least once or twice a month, is to just not set an alarm on Saturday or Sunday and wake up when I wake up. And that's usually a good night. I had no idea I was helping my heart by doing this. But what they found is that the people in group 4, the people who got anywhere from 1.5 to 16 hours more sleep on the weekends than they did during the week, had 19%, that's 1 in 5, 19% less likely to develop cardiovascular conditions like heart disease, heart failure, atrial fibrillation, and strokes, compared with group 1, the ones that didn't get any sleep during the week, got less than 7 hours, and on the weekends didn't get any more sleep either. The subgroup of participants who regularly undersleep during the week, which are those defined as getting less than 7 hours of sleep per night, showed only a 20% lower risk of heart disease compared to the people that got a lot of sleep. So the importance is lack of sleep. There have been many studies that have shown that a lack of sleep can negatively impact your heart, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, as this study showed, heart attacks, obesity, diabetes, and stroke. They've all been linked to a lack of sleep. But this study flipped it over and looked at the other side and said sufficient sleep can also actually have a positive effect. And I'd never seen a study that did that. So I thought I'd pass it all on to you. And so that makes it easy to segue into my health tip for the week, which I always end with. And I saw a study, and I've been getting inundated on Facebook and social media with this advertisement for the Hilton-like bedding, that people go to a Hilton hotel and sleep, and they've got some kind of antibacterial stuff built into their sheets and their mattresses and their pillows, that people that don't sleep go there and they can't get up in the mornings because they want to stay in bed and they sleep better there. So this company actually that's promoting the ads, they make it sound like it's a scientific study, but it's an ad for the company that makes these sheets that says they're antibacterial, and that the reason a lot of people can't get sleep is because sheets harbor bacteria. Well, the study we referred to here, 91% of people, now I don't know who did this study, but it says 91% of people change their bedding only once every 2 weeks. Now, I know some people that probably don't even change it. They're skewing that to the other end. They change their sheets like once a month. But what these guys said, these sleep experts said, you should change your sheets every week. Every week put on clean sheets, because sheets tend to pick up body secretions like, we're going to be nice and say sweat. But they also pick up animal dander, and not in my bed. My dog stays on the floor. Pollen, skin cells, funguses and bacteria. Yes, they can grow on sheets for a variety of reasons. So if you want to get a good night's sleep and you want to, just do something down and dirty, easy, get 2 pairs of bedding sheets and change them out every week. I didn't know till I read this article, all this stuff, but I do change the sheets every week. I've got 3 sets, and I just kind of rotate through them. Some of them I like better than the others, but I change them every week. So try that and see if it might, just something as simple as that, might help you get a better night's sleep. So go out there and sleep it off, and I'll see you next week for episode number 2 of February's Wisdom Wednesday.